Hello student. After learning the energy production from carbohydrate, let us learn about energy production from other nutrients. See the next point, energy from different food components. Previously, we learned about the carbohydrate. Sometimes we eat excess carbohydrates. What happens when we eat excess carbohydrates? The excess carbohydrates are stored in liver and muscles in the form of glycogen. Then let us learn about the energy production from proteins. You all of know there are different sources of proteins. We get proteins from plants as well as animals. See in this picture, the pulses, milk, meat, eggs, these are the different sources of proteins. See, these proteins are complex food and the amino acids are simple food. Means after digestion, these proteins are converted into amino acids. You all of know that there are 20 amino acids in our body. The proteins are the macromolecules, means larger molecule, which is formed by bonding together many amino acids. Means many amino acids join together to form a large molecule of protein. See, the proteins as animal origin are meat, fish, chicken, eggs, etc. These proteins are called first class proteins. And we get 4 kilocalorie of energy per gram of proteins. After digestion of proteins, these are converted into amino acids and those amino acids are absorbed in the body and then transported up to each and every cell and organ via blood. After getting these amino acids, our body organs and cell produce various proteins which are necessary for themselves and the whole body. Means our cells again convert these amino acids into necessary proteins. Let's see the examples of proteins and different amino acids obtained. See this figure carefully. In this figure, we see there are different organs like skin, bones, cells, pancreas, pituitary gland, muscles and blood, and which produces different amino acids. Let us learn one by one. Amino acids are used by skin to make melanin pigment and keratin is a key structure material of hair and horns. This melanin pigment is very important which determines our skin color. Then second, the amino acids are used by bones to make ossin, the collagen component of bone. Then third, our cells also use these amino acids. The cells to make various proteins of cell membrane and in the synthesis of various enzymes. These enzymes are useful in digestion of food material. Next, amino acids are used by pancreas. The pancreas is the gland which helps in the digestion of food. The pancreas synthesizes insulin and trypsin enzymes which are useful in digestion. Next, amino acids are used by pituitary gland which is present in the brain. This pituitary gland synthesizes various hormones which are useful in proper functioning of our brain. The next use of these amino acids are used by our muscle cells and they synthesize the actin and myosin proteins which are flexible proteins. Due to these flexible proteins, actin and myosin, we move our muscles easily. After that, amino acids are very useful in our blood to synthesize hemoglobin and antibodies which are essential components of the blood. Then overlook this figure, the skin, melanin, keratin, bones, ossin, cells produces proteins of cell membrane and various enzymes, pancreas, insulin and trypsin, pituitary gland, various hormones, the muscles, actin and myosin, flexible proteins, and last one, that is blood, hemoglobin and antibodies. Always keep in mind, the amino acids obtained from excess of proteins consumed are not stored in the body as like a carbohydrate. Sometimes we eat excess proteins and we get excess amino acids. These amino acids are not stored in the body, but these excess amino acids are decomposed and it is converted into ammonia, which is eliminated out of the body through excretory system. Sometimes we need proteins. If necessary, then excess of proteins are converted into other useful substances like glucose through the process of gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is the process from which the proteins are converted into glucose, and from this glucose we get energy. As like animals, plants also produce the necessary amino acids from minerals and thereby they produce different proteins. There are different enzymes in the plant, but one of the most important enzyme, rubisco, which is present in the chloroplast of the plant, is the most abundant proteins which is found in the nature. Then let's learn about the important food component, lipids, from which we get energy. We all of know there are different sources of lipids. Here see in the picture, milk, ghee, butter, eggs, they are rich sources of lipids. Then what is lipids? The substance formed by specific chemical bond between fatty acids and alcohol are called lipids. Means from fatty acids and alcohols we get lipids. The lipid is the complex food material and the fatty acids are the simple food material. When we eat foodstuff which are rich in lipids, after digestion of these lipids they are converted into again fatty acids and alcohols. These fatty acids after absorption are distributed to everywhere via blood within the body. From these fatty acids, then different cells produces various substances which are necessary for themselves. Let's see some examples. First, phospholipids, essential for synthesis of plasma membrane, are formed from the absorbed fatty acids. This plasma membrane is important part of the animal cell. Besides this, these fatty acids are also useful in our reproductive system. The fatty acids are used for synthesis of hormones which are secreted by different glands, that is testes, ovary, adrenal gland. These hormones are progesterone, estrogen, testosterone and aldosterone. Next example, our nerve cells also use these fatty acids in the synthesis of covering around the axons of nerve cells. So, we conclude that fatty acids are very important for our body. Each gram of lipid gives us 9 kilocalories energy, that is a big source of energy. Then what happens when there is a excess lipids? These excess lipids are stored in adipose connective tissue in the body. You already learned about this adipose connective tissue in 9th standard. These adipose tissues are called fat storing tissues, due to which we get heat energy. In this way, today we are learn about the energy production from proteins and lipids.